What's up, guys? This is the Ol Drunken Geek on the ODG Show. And I don't know if you guys read these comics back in the day. They used to be called What If comics. You know, they said, like, what if Punisher killed the whole fucking Marvel Universe? You know, what if this, what if that? I wanted to do a version of that if, like, what if one of these movies was good? Like, what if one of the movies the movie that was supposed to kick off the DC extended universe, DC movie universe, was good? What if Green Lantern 2008, 7, whatever the fuck year that was. What if that movie was good? What would it take to make this movie good? Now, first thing is, my thing is, if I want to see a Green Lantern movie, most of it should be out in fucking space. It shouldn't be on Earth. But let's work with the bones of the movie. We can show the same thing with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively on Earth. You know, they have a little dispute. We saw that he's kind of a douchebag pilot. You know, not an Air Force pilot, but like a test pilot. Maybe we could have shown a little bit of his, or told a little bit of his, dishonorable discharge from the Air Force or something like that. We could have informed a little bit more about his backstory with his father being a pilot for Ferris Air and dying in service of them, I guess, dying on a test flight for them. That could have, I felt like, added some texture to his character. I feel like in the beginning of the movie, right off rip, even before the whole Ryan Reynolds, before you introduce him, you needed to see Abin Sur fight somebody, get fucked up, and then blast off to Earth, and then the movie begins with Ryan Reynolds. I felt like that would have been really cool. Maybe you could have done Atrocitus. He could have been fighting Atrocitus, or Sinestro, or possibly a Manhunter. That would have been really cool. It would have been real cool, especially if you had something, maybe not Sinestro, because I would want to bring him later in the movie. Maybe somebody like Atrocitus or a Manhunter, and then just don't reference that the whole movie. Leave audiences like, what the fuck? What was that? And all the nerds would be like, bitch, that's a Manhunter. People are like, what? And then just don't explain it the whole movie and leave it for the next movie. That would have been cool. Once you introduce Ryan Reynolds, you get his whole character set out. I feel like that's when Abin Sur should come down. And I feel like, personally, I would have liked it if Abin Sur's spaceship crashing down would have fucked with his comms and caused Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan's character to fucking crash the plane. That would have been cool. That way it's not Hal Jordan's fault. He's not a shitty pilot. It was just his comms were off and his plane fritzed out and shit. Also, what I felt was lacking from Green Lantern was his training. Dude, motherfucker gets the ring. Kilowog throws 2 rocks at him. He's like, oh, I trained him really good. Like, shut the fuck up. No, you didn't. You threw 2 rocks at him. And then Sinestro came and fucked him up and was like, peace, bitch. You suck. I felt like they should have used a way better villain. Also, the basis of that big head motherfucker is he had the parallax entity within him. And I feel like that's way too soon to be bringing that kind of mythology to the game. I feel like he could have had anybody. You could have started with Sinestro, maybe. Maybe you save him for the next movie. You could have started with the Manhunters. You could have had Abin Sur fight him in the beginning. Then you introduce the Manhunters. You could have... I don't know what other villains he has. You could have done Star Sapphire, maybe. Maybe a little too early. But that would have been one way to give Blake Lively something a lot more substantial to do. I feel like most of the movie should have been him as a fish out of water tail on Oa, trying to figure out how to be a Green Lantern and how to train to be a Green Lantern. I felt like he shouldn't have been able to figure out his powers so quickly. I felt like he should have been an ace at flying and shooting, but had a hard time with constructs, which they did a little bit in the movie, but I don't think they nailed the point home. I feel like maybe he could have taken a look in the Book of Oa to see Blake Lively in danger, kind of like a Jedi premonition type deal, and then that causes him to go back to Earth. Maybe the Manhunters, after fucking up Abin Sur, went to look for Abin Sur on Earth, and he's no longer there. Hal Jordan sees this in the Book of Oa while he's breaking the rules and flipping through the book or whatever. The book's fucking ginormous. And, gives him a premonition, and he goes off, and that's how he fights the Manhunters. Whatever, I just did not want to see Parallax so fucking early in the movie. They introduced their version of Amanda Waller, I believe. Angela Bassett played her, which she didn't do a bad job, to be honest. I like Angela. Angela Bassett got a fat little donk, man, for an old lady. I'm trying to tell you, boy. Nah, I'm playing. Don't put that in the video.
You're not playing.
Yeah, nah, I ain't playing. She for an older lady, she's quite lovely. To say that respectfully. Shot at that. Yeah, man. I believe like that should have been the structure. Fucking Abensur fight. You show how Jordan's life on Earth. Fucking crash. Abensur gives him the ring. He dips to Oa. A big chunk of the movie is in Oa training and shit with Kilowog. And breaking the rules and gonna go see the Book of Oa. Maybe you could have introduced other Green Lantern characters. You had the fish guy, I forget his name. You could have had that tall, lanky girl alien that they always have. She's purpley, I forget her name too. So, I don't know, man. I just felt like you could have had some of the other background Green Lanterns be a little bit more important, like Salak and Chip and that big head, the guy that's just like a big head with legs and arms. I don't know. You could have given him more to do, and you could have made his training scenes be a lot more action oriented as opposed to just throwing him away. And then he breaks into the Book of Oa, looks at some shit. Manhunters are coming to Earth to fuck, because they think Abensur is there. So he rushes off, breaking the Green Lantern code or whatever. And then you find out that the Guardians of the universe, Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Universe, the Guardians of the Universe were created, the Manhunters, and you can go through that drama. You can introduce Sinestro, have him arguing a little bit with the Guardians just to show that disconnect, and eventually you have that big boss fight with Hal Jordan back on Earth. I felt like these couple of changes would have just appeased DC fans and maybe made it a little bit more interesting, put a little bit more meat on the bones of this movie. The whole thing where the big head character knew Carol Ferris, Blake Lively's character. They knew each other from childhood. Everybody knew. It was just like a chain of coincidences, and I just felt like it was really stupid. I felt like it could have been better done. So I would have trimmed the fat, streamlined the story, just to basically introduce the Green Lantern. I would have had Hal Jordan up to the end of the movie, up to the boss fight, just do like energy blast, flight, picking shit up with his ring. I wouldn't have had him do constructs until the end where he's like fighting and he's like in the throes of conflict, learn how to make constructs and learn how to control his willpower because Blake Lively is in danger or whatever the fuck. So I don't know, man, just simple little changes I felt could have worked and made this movie a lot better. And perhaps it would have kicked it off a different DC Extended Universe. I also would have liked to have seen a Joss Whedon directed Wonder Woman. Even though after this Patty Jenkins Wonder Woman, that shit seems like it would have been pointless because this was so fucking awesome. I would have liked to see a J.J. Abrams directed Man of Steel. That would have been really cool. Perhaps they could have found a way to change the Nolan Batman, kind of adapt it into this new version, but who knows what could have been. What if, right? Catch you guys next show. I'm the Ol Drunken Geek. This is the ODG Show on Dropping Loads Network. Share, comment, subscribe, take a sip. Catch you guys next time.